cannot live at home any longer. I must take a husband.
Does my lady have a suitor in mind?
Is that our brother?
Colin?
The story I'm about to tell you is how I, Huey P. Newton, the Black Panther Party founder, was set free into a prison.
Jason, you know me.
I've never served you.
It's not funny. Just tell me you know who I am.
I've never seen you before in my life.
Hello and welcome to Arts 24, where it's another stellar month in the world of TV series. A drama based on the true story of a Black Panther leader's daring escape from the police, a sci-fi alternate universe thriller, and season 2 of a BAFTA-winning comedy about a Muslim punk rock girl band. Well, Dheepthika Laurent's here to break it down for us. Hi, Dheepthika.
Hi, Olivia.
Well, let's start with the big news, though. Of course, season 3 of Bridgerton is out this month.
That's right, part 1 of season 3 of Bridgerton, because part 2 will be coming out in June. Of course, Bridgerton is based on the books of by Julia Quinn, with each story focusing on one sibling of the 8-sibling family of the Bridgerton family who find love in high society during the Regency era. So it is a period piece, a period drama. Shonda Rhimes, executive producer of the series. And of course, Bridgerton has been lauded for its diverse casting, its focus on strong women, and its, of course, its sumptuous costumes and set design. There's a lot of effort put into that. Season 3 focuses on the romance between Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington. Although I should say the opposite way, Penelope and Colin, because she really drives this first season. She's, of course, a long-time wallflower of the society, and she sort of comes into the spotlight, enlisting the help of Colin to help her find a suitor. But as you can predict, doesn't all go quite to plan. And it's also complicated by the fact that we discovered she was moonlighting as the society's gossip columnist, Lady Whistledown.
Sounds intriguing. Okay, well, let's take a look at this part 1 of Bridgerton's third season then.
Of us, the notice is very slight.
If a husband is what you seek, let me help you. Are we not friends?
The transformation in Penelope has been amazing for me. It really does make you feel so completely different.
For me, it reminds me of a young Agatha Danbury grasping the metal of her own destiny. Let's look fabulous and not be constantly in eye-burning yellow.
I do not wish to see a citrus colour ever again.
Mother, do you believe the best foundation for love is friendship?
It is rare, but you must follow your heart.
Who is she? That, Your Majesty, is Miss Penelope Featherington.
I think a big part of it as well is having Luke as a partner in it, because Colin has a transformation as well.
He feels like he's matured, he feels like he's grown up, he feels like he's on a hunt for a purpose.
Is that our brother?
Colin? I think the internet has dubbed Colin's new look sexy pirate. It's not too off from what we were intending.
It's good to be back.
So a lot of chat there about makeovers, physical transformations, but what did you think of the series this season? I mean, is it good as the previous seasons, or has it lost a bit of its shine?
Well, if I'm honest, I didn't feel it. Like, this love story felt contrived. I mean, Nicola Coughlan, who plays Penelope Featherington, is a absolute wonderful actress. She drives this whole season so elegantly. Her character is probably the most interesting of the society because it is so multi-dimensional. But I kind of felt personally annoyed that Colin only fell for her when somebody else was interested in her. And, I sort of felt like the plot lines were a bit tired. There was some sex scenes sort of thrown in there to appease all the lusty viewers who complained about the lack of sex scenes in the previous seasons. What I liked, though, what I found interesting was that there's a lot of changes happening in the society at this point. I really loved the elevation of this couple, the Mondrich couple, to high society. I loved this new friendship between Eloise, who is Colin's sister, with the antagonist Cressida Cowper. The subplots, in a way, were sometimes more entertaining than the central love story. Obviously, it doesn't mean I'm not going to watch season part 2. Of course, like many others, I will be eagerly awaiting part 2 as well.
Yeah, and of course, it's very smart to put a cliffhanger in there at the end of the part 1, which means everyone's going to be really eagerly awaiting the second session of this third season. Well, moving on now, Apple TV Plus has just released The Big Cigar, which traces a quite improbable story. We've got Huey P. Newton, the co-founder of the Black Panthers there starring.
Yes, and Andre Holland, who you'll recognize from a show we talked about here on France 24 last year, it's called The Eddie. He was in that show. He's actually plays the title character of Huey P. Newton, who was the founder of the Black Panthers. Don Cheadle executive produced this show, created by Jim Hecht and Janine Sherman-Barrois. Now, this is an unbelievable but true story. In the 1970s, Huey P. Newton was on the run from the police after being accused of murdering a teen prostitute. He sought the help, or somehow kind of came into contact with this Hollywood producer, a friend of his called Bert Schneider, who was behind at the time films like Easy Rider. And together they concoct this outlandish plan to help Newton escape to Cuba by staging a fake production. Take a look.
The story I'm about to tell you is how I, Huey P. Newton, the Black Panther Party founder, was set free into a prison. I envision a world beyond conflict and violence. I want to transform society. This is just the beginning.
Talk about a star. That guy's a star.
Bird dig. Richard Pryor as Huey P. Newton in the Huey Newton story. Well, don't we look alike?
Not really.
The FBI has been pursuing Huey Newton for years. They saw the programs worked and change was happening. We are trying to stop an enemy of the state.
A massive nationwide manhunt is now underway.
Where am I supposed to go?
You should check out Bird. We're gonna get Huey to Cuba in the next 48 hours.
What we do is we make it look like it's one of your movies.
It's a location shoot as far as the feds are concerned. We got hair, makeup, wardrobe.
So the true story there is absolutely incredible, but this series has had mixed reviews. What were your first impressions?
Well, look, make no mistake about this. This is a show very much filmed from the perspective of Huey P. Newton, and rather in his favor too. What I liked, usual Apple TV Plus, very good at these sort of deep dives into the past. Great backdrop, hair, costumes, very much puts you in the scene. The weakness of the show, I felt confused about what story it was trying to tell, and I think this is a very delicate conundrum that the show faced. Was you have this incredible character, divisive in his own way, of this leader of the Black Panthers, a story about Black America, really, and this white producer who's trying to help him. And so, do you tell the story of the Black Panthers? You tell the story of the white producer? And so I think they kind of grapple with that, and in the end they didn't really tell either story fully or thoroughly, and I think that was really the weakness. However, Andre Holland, the casting was great. Andre Holland was really, really good, very captivating as Huey P. Newton, this charismatic but fearsome leader of the Black Panthers. And I think, it also speaks to just how difficult it is to depict Black history stories on TV, be it the small screen or on film as well.
Getting the right perspective there is,
Exactly.
as you say, extremely delicate. Well, also out on Apple TV Plus this month, Dark Matter. This is a sci-fi based on a best-selling book from 2016 by Blake Crouch.
Yeah, Blake Crouch actually drives this show as well, which is behind his best-selling book called Dark Matter. Australian actor Joel Edgerton plays a physics professor who ends up in an alternate universe, and he has to fight to return back to his old life, and particularly to his family. His wife is played by Jennifer Connelly. It explores the theories of dark matter, quantum mechanics. The first episode, there's a reference to Schrodinger's cat, where he's trying to explain that concept to his students. Dark Matter became the most watched TV series in its debut week on Apple TV+.
Wow, so a scientific concept managed to grab people's attention. Well, let's take a look at Dark Matter.
Crazy theory. What if the person that abducted me is a version of me? I'm in his world, and he's in mine. Now, this man who's taken him from his life, it's a version of him that didn't have the family.
What if you walk into a world that doesn't belong to you, but you're addicted to it because it's the world that has everything that you wanted in life?
And it really is just about a person trying to get their family back.
He gets thrown into the multiverse and has to travel through it to ultimately come home. I'm getting you off.
You built the box. Behind every door in there is a version of your life that you could have lived.
You're different, Jason. You stole me from my world, and he brought me to his world. What if the person that abducted me is me.
Wow, looks pretty metaphysical and trippy. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, very trippy, very cerebral. It's got palpitating suspense, and I didn't expect that. Great casting as well. I like that at the heart of it is just about a simple story of a man trying to get back to his family, and a man also being forced to confront a life that he could have had if he didn't make certain choices in his life. The thing is, I don't know if viewers can keep up because the two alternate universes are very similar. They crisscross very frequently, and you might get lost, you might get bogged down maybe in the intrigue. And ultimately, I was reading some of the critics, and I think I do agree with one thing, is maybe this would have worked better as a film. It feels too drawn out, too tiresome or convoluted for a TV format.
So existentially too complex, perhaps. Yeah. Well, finally, something a bit funnier, perhaps. A BAFTA-winning British comedy back for a highly anticipated second season.
Yeah, it's called We Are Lady Parts. Amina Hussain is a 20-something doctorate student in biochemical engineering, and she's meeting potential suitors. Her conventional world collides with a less conventional world when she joins a London all-girl Muslim punk rock group. The first season centered on her moral equivocation about whether or not to join the group. Season 2 opens with the band having completed a tour around the UK. The showrunner and director Nida Manzoor takes the story forward this season, really focusing on the personal issues of Amina, but also her bandmates. It's fun, it's earnest, it's fresh, it deals with a multitude of diversity-driven storylines. It's a little bit irreverent. The first season won a heap of awards, including Best Comedy Scripting for Nida Manzoor. I think it's a perfect antidote to sometimes the seriousness of life.
Yeah, I heard that it definitely went down very well in the UK, so I will be sure to check it out. Thank you very much for that roundup this week, Dheepthi. We'll leave you with a look at We Are Lady Parts. The second season is out this month, but do keep up with us on social media, and you can check out our website for more arts and culture. There's more news coming up on France 24 just after this.
They're using our music to get famous. We support the greater sisterhood. Right, Sarah?
Our focus should be the album. The time had come to do what we do best. Lady Parts, assemble. Lady Parts is more important than any one of us. You guys better go out there, show the world who we are.